Smith. Tonight, a new effort to help solve the unsolved. Investigators with the Quincy Police Department and Adams County Sheriff's Office continue to look for answers in 5 homicide cases that are still ongoing. A new nonprofit called Friends of Justice looks to incentivize people who come forward with new information, ultimately leading to a suspect's arrest. For the last few years, Adams County resident Jack Miller has been searching for answers. Answers for why one of his favorite co-workers, 48-year-old Nancy Streetmatter, was killed 12 years ago this month.
Me getting some age on me, she was one of several things I want to accomplish before my time's up.
Streetmatter was found dead at 219 Oak Street while firefighters were performing what they call a dig out.
You work a case until you just don't have any more leads to follow up on.
No arrests have been made in Streetmatter's case since her remains were found on October 8, 2012. Miller is the CEO of the newly created Friends of Justice and hopes that'll prompt change.
It became obvious there needed to be a large reward for information to get somebody to come forward.
Quincy Police Chief Adam Yates says people not coming forward is what often prolongs an investigation.
Why do you think someone would be kind of hesitant to come forward?
I mean, it's no secret that, certain people just don't cooperate or don't help the police. So ultimately, if they do, then they may be labeled as a snitch or have issues within their family or within their neighborhood.
The nonprofit's vice president, Barry Chains, says roughly $10,000 has been pledged to their effort. He believes it could help build community trust.
We don't want them to commit another crime, nor do we want them to influence others to commit crime.
But the ultimate goal is to bring closure and justice to the victims' families.
Hopefully, maybe some of the lowlifes will think twice before they do something too bad.
And Miller says the nonprofit originally started as an effort solely for Streetmatter's case, but decided to incorporate all cold cases in Adams County. We have how to donate on our website, WGEM.com.